let it go. All for nothing, I should have known. I made mistakes, crashed and burned. So many chances, no time to learn. I need to time to let it go. Once upon a time it was made for us. Woke up one day, I won't be coming back again. Can't take it back, everything you've done. You know youth is wasted on the young. We still don't know where we belong. Time will tell us where we went wrong. You know youth is wasted on the young. On the young.
Good morning guys, welcome to another isolation vlog. I wanted to vlog today because it's a Saturday and we usually have a heel session in the morning and it's just such a solid session, and like last week I pushed myself and like I got a lot out of it. I just wanted to share that, vlog it so it was a memory. But this week I've had to kind of modify my training and listen to my body because my foot that I had my injury in was getting in a lot of pain, which is just something I have to manage and deal with. And one of the ways I manage it is when it does get in pain, I have to not run on it for a few days and swap running sessions with cross training. And I'm so lucky because we got a bike for our home gym, which is so awesome. So my dad borrowed it from a friend and it's a lifesaver. Like, it's a torture device, but I'm so lucky to be able to have that because like obviously gyms and everything are all closed on isolation, and when I can't run because of my foot, I get the bike there. So I have to swap one of my track sessions each week for a bike, often because my foot can't really cope with that load after the injury. And yeah, so I'm not doing my heel session today, but I can show you what I do instead to still get some quality like training in while keeping the body healthy and injury free. So this morning I actually slept in quite late, but I started by doing all my rehab exercises. So I have the most wonderful and lovely physio. I saw her the other night, got acupuncture with her, got a good treatment with her, and she just said you need to be doing like these exercises, just do them each morning, which is mainly glute strengthening work, and that's just so important to keep healthy and not be injured. I'm going to go make some breakfast now and take you guys along this day where I'll be at home again. Oh, also, since I'm making my breakfast and I'm going to use a banana, check out our bananas from our tree. We're just getting a lot of bananas right now, so that's pretty cool. And I'll be using one of these that are like split open. You say you're sorry. Say you're trying to get to me. Get above your knees. If you think I care about you now. Oh, you try to get to me. Get above your knees. Can you feel that tonight? Evening breeze, perfect harmony with all its living being. How to make her see the truth about my past? Impossible. She's turned away from me, holding back, he's hiding. me. Oh, tell me, baby, where did I go wrong?
Let you down, and I know that I was not always around. I made you feel alone. You spent most of your nights just sitting on your own.
Just got my good old oats for brekkie and a tea. So I'm going to go and eat this now, and then I'm going to get to all the things I have to do today, which include studying neuroscience and doing a really hard bike session because I like to torture me, my coach likes to torture me, and I like that. I like that.
Call it off, let it go. All for nothing, I should have known. I've made mistakes, crashed and burned. So many chances, no time to learn. I need to find another way to make things right. I won't be coming back again.
It is now time to train on my torture device. So something I've been asked quite a bit is, how do you train when you're injured, and like what did I do when I was injured? So I've explained before, but when I had my cast on and I was non-weight bearing, so I was on crutches for quite a few months, I still trained each day, but it was cross training, so I obviously couldn't put weight on my foot and run, but I did what I could do, and at that time it was pool session, so I did heaps of deep water running, and someone just started mowing their lawn. Where I live, someone is always mowing their lawn. It's ridiculous. Shut up! I literally just have to wait till he stops mowing the lawn to talk. So at that time it was pool sessions, I did deep water running, and I also did one-legged gym sessions. So one-legged gym sessions was like upper body stuff, so like push-ups on one leg, planking on one leg, shoulder press, just stuff I could do without putting weight on my leg. And now I still have to manage my foot that got injured because I still get pain even though it's been like 2 years. I actually put a post on my story the other day on Instagram saying, do people still get pain years after an injury? And like over 50 people replied, and a lot of athletes as well, saying they still get pain like years after their injury, and it's just something you have to manage. So what I do is just listen to my body, be really careful. I don't overload my foot, and like if the load increases at training and it hurts while my foot's adapting, I back it off the next week and do some bike sessions and then slowly adapt to bigger training loads. So your body will adapt if you take it slowly, and make sure you stay on top of rehab, do all your strengthening work. And so that's why I have to do bike sessions. I hate bike sessions so much. They are so painful, but you can get a lot out of them. Get some solid fitness work done. I got so much lactic yesterday. So yesterday I did a bike session at home. Basically when I do a bike session, I start with like a warm-up. I do like a 5-minute easy cycle and then a 10-minute core workout. And then the bike session I did yesterday was 5 sets of 5 times 15 seconds hard, 45 seconds easy. And the 15 seconds hard were hard. I turned the resistance up on the bike and then just like pedaled as hard as I could. I got lactic in like the second rep, so that session yesterday was just not fun. And then in between each of those sets, I have a 4-minute active rest, either just cycling or doing core work. And my coach sent me a bunch of different bike workouts for me to do. Okay, I'm gonna do this workout, which is just like a conditioning workout. So there's only 3 sets altogether. The first one is 8 times 30 seconds hard, 45 easy. Then 6 times 20 hard, 30 easy. And then 8 times 15 hard, 30 easy. So hard means like cycle really hard with the resistance up high. This is gonna hurt. warm up done. So I just did an easy cycle for 5 minutes and then practiced a ABBA workout that I'm trying to create to post on YouTube. It's like a follow-on workout, and I'm trying to create a new one to songs that aren't copyrighted so it doesn't get blocked this time. So now for the real fun. I'm not looking forward to this. Also, if I keep looking at my watch, it's because I'm looking at my heart rate and my times and stuff like that. I'm already dying. I have lactic in the first rep. Holy shit, my heart rate's at 165. Set one done. So the option is either 4 minutes continuous core or 4 minutes continuous cycling between the sets. Because I get such lactic legs from the bike, I like to keep jogging and walking cool down until I feel not like I'm dying. Okay, so I'm gonna go for a jog walk, lap or laps, and the lap is around the block. That's something I love about my sport. It's all a mental battle. Every session when you're dying, it's just the mental talk you have in your head that gets you through it. Anyone can do it. You just have to have good mental talk, which anyone can have. You just have to fight for it, which is hard. Like last week on the hill was one of the first sessions where I had some good mental talk. When I say good mental talk, I mean I pushed myself, and that could use positive or negative cues. You have to fight that part of you that's like, oh, don't worry about running fast, just finish it. Like some reps when I'm dying and part of me is like, oh, it's too hard, you're too tired. The other part of me that's being resilient and mentally tough will be saying like I don't know, part of me sometimes might be like, if you finish it in this time, that's a national medal. Even if it's completely out of reach, it's just little mental things that make you push because every rep counts. And then that way you get more out of every rep. And sometimes it's negative. Like last week on the hill, some reps I was like, finish in this time or your dad dies. But it was still like one of the first times I was back to being mentally tough, because I used to be really mentally tough in every session. And then when I was feeling really weak and tired, I would be mentally weak in most sessions. I'd be like, I can't do this, I feel like passing out. Just go with the motions, don't worry about finishing in a good time, just finish it. And then you don't really get much out of a session that way. So I just love how this sport is mental, and you feel really good after a hard workout where you've pushed yourself mentally and put yourself in that pain area. Okay, I'm gonna go cool down now. I don't want to take my camera with me. Rio.
Without a warning, walking the same steps every morning. I see all the same faces, but I don't even know them. I wanna change now, following the same trace. I'm stuck in a strange place, and I need a change now.
So I have brown rice, a whole heap of veggies. I fried up a little bit of firm tofu, which I love, and some really good avocado. Avo, tofu and rice is such a good combo. And then I just put a whole heap of lime on top. It's like 2:30 now and I'm gonna go and eat this. I forgot to take a picture for my Whole Food Gram Instagram account, and I literally just made it really ugly, so damn it.
Nothing that makes me see things that I've not seen.
Okay, so I've just been studying and it's now like 4:30ish, so I made myself a little tea and snack. I toasted a piece of this healthy banana bread that my mum made, since we have so many bananas right now and she's been doing a lot of baking while in isolation. She baked a little sugar-free healthy banana bread. It's not as good as my one though, but it's still good. It's still banana bread, you know. I just put almond butter on top. So before I end this video, I wanted to have a little bit of a chat about body image. So something that a few people have requested videos on is how to deal with bad body image when you've gained weight, in eating disorder recovery, or just in general if you have bad body image. So I've just been getting a few requests on how I've dealt with my body changing as I've gained weight and recovered from being really underweight. For me, that was what I struggled with the most, and that was the reason it took me so long to actually commit to recovering, because I would try to recover and then I just would hate how I looked. I remember one time when I just decided I needed to recover, like I couldn't do it anymore. My life was worth more than being in that place, because it is very depressing, but I couldn't deal with putting on weight. I remember one time crying to my parents and saying how I felt really ugly and fat. I hate like saying that now, because obviously I don't want someone to think that's how I think about it or that's how I feel about it. But in that, when you're in that place, you just have such a warped perception of yourself. It was hard. Like when I first put on weight, I didn't like how I looked. I just pushed myself to keep going and reminding myself why I did it. But while I did that, I did do things to help me have better body image and have a good relationship and learn to love my body. So I knew that I had to learn to love my body at how it looks when it's healthy. And so some of the things I did was, first of all, every time I looked in the mirror, it was hard, but I would force myself to stop the negative comments, even if they were subconscious. And if I thought them, I would turn them around. Even if I didn't think them, I forced myself to think of the things I liked about myself and to say positive things to myself, even if I didn't really believe it. Because the whole point is having a good relationship with yourself and your body. Saying positive things, and even if you don't believe it, the more you do it, it'll become real for you. The way you talk to yourself affects you so much. If you have good intentions of love behind things that you do, the outcome will be so much greater. Like you know that experiment where they have two plants in the same conditions, and one they say loving things to and one they say hateful things to, and the one that has been in the environment where there's loving things said to it thrives and grows while the other one dies, which doesn't really make sense, but it's all about the energy that you give to it. So you have to keep feeding yourself positive energy and loving words and talking to yourself in a kind way. And eventually, like, it does take time, but eventually you'll realize you don't have to force yourself to do it anymore, and you'll actually just be at peace with yourself and in a much better place. And I'm not saying I don't have bad days where I have really bad body image. Of course I do. I'm human. And I've come from that place where it was really bad. But for the most part, I've noticed that it's less of a fight to turn around negative thoughts. I did do things like, you know, wearing less fitting clothes and stuff like that. But at the same time, I was very aware that I don't want to be like afraid or self-conscious or really uncomfortable in my body. I needed to get used to how it looked and to keep reminding myself I liked how it looked, and it looked great and healthy and beautiful out of healthy size. So I would wear things that would make me feel comfortable, but I also would try to learn to love how I looked, so I didn't need to hide behind something. Going back to training, like sometimes I would feel uncomfortable to just train in a crop top, which I never felt before. And it's all about the way you talk to yourself mentally. Like you just have to say to yourself, whatever, like I look good, I look healthy. If you're worried about someone else judging you, then you just got to be like, stuff them. Like who gives a crap about what they think? Like I'm so much healthier. And another thing that really helped me was just reminding myself how much happier and energetic I feel that I'm healthy. I would tell myself, this is so much better. Like, no, I don't care if I look different because I feel so much better, and I can't feel like I did before again. I just can't. My body can't go through that again. This is what I look like when I feel amazing. So then I'm going to decide that looking like this looks amazing and I feel great physically, like I feel energetic and happy again. So if I'm uncomfortable with how my body looks at that size, I need to change that and keep reminding myself, no, I love my body looking like this because that's when I feel great and that's when I feel the best and that's when I'm the healthiest. Your worth is not based on how you look. You have to learn to love your body for what it can do for you and nourish it and be in a really good relationship with it. And just remind yourself that how you look isn't the most important thing about yourself. And I know there's a lot of shallow people in the world, and especially growing up in the age of social media where we're always constantly comparing ourselves. You just have to remind yourself what really matters. And at the end of the day, I've said this before, but everybody grows old, everybody's bodies age, everybody dies. So how you look is only temporary. How you look when you're young, how you look when you're old, how you look in general is only temporary. So one day when you're 80 years old, you're not going to remember how you looked when you were a teenager, when you were in your 20s, when you were in your 30s. You're going to remember all the memories you had, all the good times you had, not how skinny you were. You don't want to get to the end of your life and be like, oh my gosh, I wasted my whole life starving myself and not eating and not being happy with my body because I was just worried about how I looked, when it wasn't how I looked that matters. It was how I loved that mattered and how I lived. So just remind yourself that it's just your body. Like, you're so much more than that. It's how you feel that matters so much more than how you look. And I know it's important to feel good about yourself and to have a good relationship with yourself. So when you do look in the mirror, don't let yourself have thoughts where you think, I look fat or I look ugly. Tell yourself that you love those bits of you that you don't like, but also focus on the bits that you genuinely do like. So another thing I wanted to add is stop comparing yourself to other people. I'm telling myself this too because I do this all the time. Everybody's bodies are completely unique and completely different, and you just can't compare yourself to other people. Everybody has their own, you know, unique things about them that are beautiful, and be proud of those or be grateful for those, but also don't be harsh on yourself or hateful to yourself for the things that you don't like about yourself. Instead, try to learn to like them. Okay, for me, for example, I don't like how YouTubers say like my problem area. It's not a problem area, that's just how your body looks. And I guess society's decided on an ideal body image, and that area of yours might not fit that ideal body image, so they decide it's their problem area. But it's the best way I can explain this right now. But the part of me that I was most self-conscious about, or am, and I try to not be, I try to work on, was, I'm gonna say my abdominals, like my lower stomach and like hips, because that's where I think I distribute my body fat and store body fat at. So I've always had like lean, long arms and legs. That's just how my body distributed. Like that's just how my body is for me. And the only time I had like shredded six-pack veiny abs was when I was so underweight and at a really unhealthy body fat, like legit 7% body fat. I got a body scan. That was when I was really mentally not in a good place and physically not in a good place. I've just been trying to tell myself I love myself too much to let myself do that to my body again and be so self-conscious and hateful about how I look. Like, I need to learn to love those bits of me. When I've gained weight, I've tried to focus on other things I like about me, like maybe like growing a booty or like getting more muscly arms and legs again instead of being like legit sticks, and also just looking at the things I like about myself. So I've always had like popping calves and biceps, so like not trying to be like flex, I've had popping calves and biceps. I'm just saying that's like just how my body works. Like, random example, but one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch is Sarah's Day, and something she has said quite a bit is her problem area. I don't like saying that, but that's what she used, and I get what she's trying to say. But she said her problem areas are her arms and legs, because that's where she stores her weight or fat at, and she's always found it very easy to get visible abs or a lean stomach, because that's just how her body distributes. It doesn't distribute around her midsection so much, which is not that common for most women, but that's what she's talked about. And basically what I'm trying to say is you can't compare yourself, because everybody's bodies work so differently. So for example, I might have a lower body fat percent than her, but she might have more visible abs than me still, just because that's how her body distributes. And on top of that, everybody's physical size and body is naturally different. So the size that people are healthiest at is going to be completely different for everybody. For example, my natural size is quite slim, but it's not extremely skinny and tiny like I was forcing it to be at. And there are some other people whose natural body size is very tiny, and that's just, they're healthy at that size, they get a period at that size, they eat plenty at that size, but their body just stays at that size. And then same thing for the opposite way. Some people's natural body type is just a bit bigger, and that's just how it is. And you know, there's no bad or good. Like, it's not like that's unfortunate for some people. It's, everyone's unique, and that's a good thing. It's just, I guess, like, society portrays a certain image that people think you're blessed and lucky if you naturally look like that. Like in sport, for example, some athletes have been forced to, you know, drop weight to fit their event or to get leaner for their event, and then they've not competed as well because their body just doesn't naturally look like that, and they're healthier and better at their event at their normal size. And it doesn't matter if they're an 800 or middle distance runner and their natural size isn't really like slim and lanky. Like, they could still be great athletes at that event without having the ideal body type for that event. So what I'm trying to say is you gotta not compare yourself, because everybody's bodies are so unique, and just learn to love your own uniqueness. Appreciate the parts of you that you love, and the parts that you don't love them harder, because they need extra love. Over time and through practice, you'll develop a better relationship with your body and yourself. I feel like I could talk about this for a long time, and there's so much more to say on this, and I need to eat my banana bread, so I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you're all surviving isolation and keeping yourselves healthy physically and mentally. I know it's a hard time right now, but just keep, you know, hanging in there. I feel really bad to do this, but I think I'm not going to be able to maintain uploading twice a week, because now that uni's moved online, I have to use my own Wi-Fi, and I'm not even kidding, it takes me an entire week to upload a video. And I'm also just like really busy with uni work, but I still will definitely be uploading every single week, and I'll try my best to do twice a week, but I'm going to be uploading every Sunday for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye!